Hello, good evening. Welcome to this evening, our second episode with Mattia. How are you?
I'm great.
How was today?
Yeah. It was busy. It was dry-ish.
Dry?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good then.
Dry
Like a
as
moist
dry as
day.
you could wish for anyway on a February day.
Absolutely. So everyone, thank you for joining us. So first off, let's dive right into it. Martha, let's have a you and lamb update.
Well-
So since Friday, who have we had?
We've had quite a lot. We're down to 5 left.
Five
left. Yeah. So we're up
Wow.
to 14 on the old shipometer there.
So how many have we had since Friday actually dropped?
Since Friday, goodness. 4 or 5?
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Can't think off the top of my head. You've really put me on the spot there, Mattia.
Have any of you seen one of our lambs be born since you've been here since Friday?
I know
Let
some
us
people
know.
have.
They
I know,
have?
Yeah, I know that they have.
Let us know in the comments, please do. We'll have a little look at them a little bit later. We'll go over and check them out since the other day. So let's move on to food now. We're going to be talking a little bit about all sorts of different foods. So we'll be talking about the lamb's food, the used food, but we'll also be talking about our food and British produce. So first off, Martha, let's talk about the ewes diet. So what is it that the ewes eat daily? What do they have to get ready,
So they have ad lib hay, sorry, not haylage. So ad lib just means a constant supply. So their hay racks are always topped up with good quality hay. You don't want it to be dusty or mouldy, you just want it to be as good quality and as nice and green as possible. So they have that constantly. They do eat the straw as well, so when we bed up they'll have that. And then for their actual diet they have, it's called ewe nuts. So it's a compound nut crushed together, 18% protein, which is
18%
recommended for the pregnant ewe, yeah.
Wow. And so why is it a constant supply? Do they normally have a constant supply, or is it just while they're pregnant?
Well, sheep are grazers anyway, so if they're out in the field, they're constantly grazing.
Right.
Obviously, they've got the 4 stomachs. So when they're not eating, they'll sit down and then they'll digest their food, so they'll regurgitate and then chew. So if you see a sheep lying down, the lambs are doing it now, it's called chewing the cud. So
Chewing the what?
cud.
The cud.
The cud. So they quite literally have a little bit of stick in their mouth. They'll chew it and then swallow it back down again. So the joys of 4 stomachs for you.
Wow. Okay, lovely. So then let's move on to the lambs. So what is it that the lambs would have? Obviously they've got milk, haven't they?
Yeah, so they've got an ad lib supply of milk from mother, so they'll pick and choose when they're hungry. Mum sometimes, if they're napping, will come and give them a kick, wake them up and say, "Oi, feed time." Maybe if her udder's are feeling a little full. And then eventually, a couple of weeks on, they'll move on to, it's called a creep food. So it looks like a ewe-nut, but it's really condensed down to a tiny little lamb-sized pellet. And that helps them grow on. They start getting teeth within a week or so, and they'll start nibbling the hay. So yeah, they'll but mostly on milk for a couple of months.
And it's really important, isn't it, that after they've come out of the womb, that they get that milk from the mother.
First drink, yes, exactly.
And why is that?
So they've got about six hours really to get the first drink. So it's called colostrum, and it's got all the antibodies that the lamb will need for its start in life. Lines the stomach, gives them all the goodness that they need. If they don't have that, they've got a very weak immune system, so they can pick up. Obviously, they're in a fairly dirty environment. We keep it quite clean, but there is poo around us and lots of different bugs. So yeah, they'll be around it, so you want them to have a good immune system so they don't pick up anything that could be detrimental to their health.
And I've also noticed as well that I don't know if there is any this year yet, there might be, but there was definitely last year, I remember, the tubs with like the licks, like the energy
Yeah,
licks.
there's a couple up the top there. So we provide the use with energy licks. Being pregnant takes a lot out of you. So the energy licks quite literally give them some energy, and it's got some good protein in as well, which helps them use towards the end of their pregnancy as well, whilst the lambs are really, really putting on weight, stops them taking everything from mum. She can top herself up with the extra energy there.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And so that's the lamb's diet and the ewe's diet, but we're also looking at the moment, the British produce, aren't we? And about how in the food chain, what is it to look out for? If you are in the supermarket, you might not know this, but we have something called a red tractor label. It looks a little like this. Let me get it out just so you lot can see it. So that's the red tractor label. Now, Martha, what does this basically mean if you see this on a packet?
So it's assuring you that the welfare standards of your food are very high. Also, what is it? So yeah, welfare standards, environmental protection, food safety and traceability. So you can always trace back where your food comes from. And I believe we in Britain have the highest food standard, welfare standard for raising meat. So this is a very important sign if you're going to buy any meat, chicken, beef, pork, lamb, anything, that you look out for this sign and buy local. But
you can also get it on your fruit and veg as well. So if it's been grown in the UK and it hasn't had certain pesticides and all sorts put on it, it's applied to this standard, and you can find them on the bags, as well as some ready meals. Apparently, ready meals will have this on there, and it will say like pork. So you know the pork inside that ready meal, or the chicken inside that ready meal, is actually compliant with this red tractor label.
High standards.
And did you know KFC, Harvester and Toby Carvery also use the red tractor label. So if you're thinking of having a bargain bucket for two later, you know it's come from someone reliable. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that until the Red Tractor team told me.
Goodness.
My goodness. But you can find out more on redtractor.org.uk. So if you want to find out more about that and where your food comes from in Britain, just follow that, redtractor.org.uk.
It's also very important at this time of year to buy seasonal vegetables as well. Because obviously if you're trying to be environmentally friendly, buying strawberries at this time of year is, it's not the time of year for strawberries. So
they're getting blown over.
Shipped over.
And so, let's go on to the event now, Martha. Yep. Let's talk a little bit about the event. So, let's have an update. Let's go on over and let's see who's new and who's been born, shall we?
Absolutely. Which direction do you want to go in?
Maybe let's not get our legs over just yet. Should we go around this way?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it. So come with us.
Just have to mind the storm of sheep as we troll through. Sorry, my lovelies. Just going to disturb you on that.
So obviously some of you will know we've had Storm Dennis at the park the last few days. The park's been open. It's been pretty quiet. However, today it's really picked up. So it's the perfect time now to come on over and to see all of the little additions we've had and the mothers-to-be as well. Park is open from tomorrow from 10.
Get your leg over there, Mattia.
The best Lara Croft dog. There we go. Are you okay? Camera woman. Lovely.
Oh, my lovely.
Okay, Martha. So, since our last update on Friday, let's see who's new.
So, goodness, a few new ones. These are some of our newest. So we've got two ewe lambs in here, so two girls. The one over here caused me a bit of trouble last night because she decided to come out with just her face, no feet, which was great. And we couldn't get her head back in, so we had to call Claire, our vet, to help assist with that one, because as we were trying to push the head back in, Mum was obviously trying to push the lamb out, but the lamb couldn't come out because there were no legs. So it wasn't streamlined at all. So Claire had to come and assist me at about 10 o'clock last night, which was really great, and I'm sure she appreciated that. But I appreciated her help, and I think that you did too. And then the other little lamb followed on with absolutely no issues at all. So very cute. And we've got to name these today, I think.
Yes, we do, later on in the time.
Yeah. And then the newest of the new, just over here. These, we've got a boy and a girl, so these are going to be named today as well, Mattia. No, these are tomorrow, sorry.
These will be tomorrow?
We're going to name these tomorrow because we've got a lot to name today. But we do have a boy and a girl, so the naming competition will run again tomorrow for anyone wanting to name a lamb. So a boy and a girl, and these had a little bit of trouble. Mum was... please don't dive in the bucket. Mum was... having trouble pushing these out. I think she might be a first timer, so I had to help assist with this one. But no no issues really.
Awesome. And anyone else?
That's it for the newest.
Yeah?
I mean, we've got old Neville here. I think some of them saw Neville being born on the live stream. He was Mr. Superman, coming with one leg forward, one leg back, and he is peacefully napping. And Mum is very sweet as well. So, yeah, and then just a couple more new ones down the bottom there that we've got to name. So we have number 12, we've got to name this little chap too. And he popped out all by himself, so he was very good, and Mum's being very attentive. Although we've had to block the passageway there with a water bucket because he likes to go on adventures and see his next door neighbours. So.
The life of a lamb, eh? I'd love to be a lamb, just lie on your back and get everything done for you. So, should we go on back over?
Let's go back, yeah.
Martha, after you. Go on, you show us how it's done.
A bit wobbly. I'll hold it still for you.
Thank you. So yes, if you're coming on down to the park this week, make sure that your number one stop is the animal farm.
Take a look at Dennis.
Although we have all the different sheep activities across the park, this is the area and the beating heart of the event. So we'll let you see some of our little ones. So obviously we've had all these little new ones born, but Martha, what is the current ratio of boys to girls? Which team's winning?
I feel like when you look at them, it's a bit like a steady cook with the whole red pepper, green pepper type job. But actually, in the lead by 1 is the girls. So we've got 11 girls and 10 boys.
11 girls and 10
yeah,
boys.
the girls have just taken it, and I think that was this morning's one that she had just come in there and knocked away the trophy of being in the lead. Oh, hello, number 6. How are you doing?
You right, hon?
Likes my rug.
You good? So let's get to the most exciting part of the show, the naming of the lambs.
Of course. So we have to name number 12.
And that
That's a boy.
is a boy.
I think.
Yeah?
No. Let's have a little look to see what I've got. Sorry. Right, so we've got 2 girls and no, we've got 4 girls and a boy that we've pulled out. So I'll start with the boy because the girls can just wait. So our boy is going to be Freddie. So he is number 12, Freddie, and by George, age 5. Don't know if you can hear me over the noisy shit.
Well done,
George. George, age 5.
We have a Freddie from
That's
you.
that one. So we've got. I'll pick out 2. So these are going to be sisters. So a girl,
Condoleezza.
by Matt. So well done, Matt. Condoleezza there in the bag. And Ebony by Ebony. Original.
Right, so Ebony by Ebony.
By
So
Ebony.
if you named Ebony, then let us know in the comments because you haven't put your name down on the actual slip. So just let us know
So
if
we
that was
pulled
you.
that one out anyway. Okay, and then for the other twins,
Don't touch my shoes.
after the shoes, we've got an Olive by Ava, so that's very cute. An Olive by Ava.
That's like Popeye.
Very much like Popeye. Here's Charlotte coming to rep the scene.
Hands off the lube, Charlotte.
That's
Away from the lube and the
my
gloves.
love. So Olive by Ava. And we've also got Gertrude. Not Gertrude. Gertrude EY by Megan. So
Wow.
congratulations, you guys. And again, if you did name it Ebony, please let us know. We can put your name on the sign for the lambs, so everyone can see who's.
So your best bet is if you are watching this show, just leave it on the comments there. We'll pick it up and then we'll pop it on the sign for you. So that's pretty much it today. I mean, we've flown through everything we needed to. Just so you're aware, remember if you do come and you do want to do the activities and drawings that your children obviously that your children have done, then please do them in the activity centre. Leave them with the ranger and say that this is for this evening. Pop the names on the back of it and a brief description of what it is they've drawn or they've coloured in, and we'll feature it on Thursday's show. So on Thursday we'll be answering your questions from Facebook. So remember, on the Facebook page and on Instagram, there's posts on each one which ask you to leave any questions you might have that you want answered by Martha. Or if you fancy asking me a question.
Just Mattia. Well, he's been listening.
And not very well. And then we'll answer those as well. So we've got the colouring on Thursday, and we've got the questions. We'll also be covering lifestyle and fashion on Thursday as well. So I bet you can't wait for that. We will be having a catwalk looking at both lamb fashion and mother of lambs fashion. So you know it's going to be a good one. So thank you so much everyone for joining us. Martha, have you got anything to add?
No, but check in soon because I'm sure I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow morning to see what's happened through the night and early hours of the morning. So check back with us very soon.
So thank you very much everyone for joining us. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you on Park hopefully very soon.
Take care.
Bye.